Jim, I'm sorry, it's a couple minutes late. I want to ask you about Kyshawn. Where did you first hear about him? You know, how did you kind of run across him? And if you could just talk about what attracted you to him and how you think his development is going so far.
All right, so very interestingly, a year ago, September, I got a call from Jonathan Givoni. And he gave me a heads up that there was a player in France that was born and raised in Switzerland that he watched play and thought he had some good potential, even though he was not playing much for the team he was on. We might take a look at him if we're interested in a guard. So we reached out to the young man and his dad, and as it turns out, Bill Courtney, my associate head coach, played against Kyshawn's dad in college. Okay. Kyshawn's dad is from Canada, went to St. Francis College of Pennsylvania, played for a friend of mine named Jimmy Barron, and Bill Courtney was a player at Cornell and St. Francis College of Pennsylvania, played Cornell, I'm sorry, Bill went to Bucknell, and Bucknell played St. Francis College of Pennsylvania. So as soon as we made contact with the young man and his dad, we hit it off right away. And he was about 6'5", shooting guard, had some ball skills that say, yeah, maybe he can play some point or maybe big enough to play the three. So we offered him a scholarship. We watched video on him, of course, but we didn't go over there. We didn't go to France. Actually, we asked his pro team if we could come over and just watch a practice or two, and they said, absolutely not. We're trying to keep him. So we're your competition. Either you're going to stay with us and play pro ball here, or go to the United States to play college ball. So we invited him in for a visit. We were playing Notre Dame in South Bend a year ago. We played them on New Year's Eve. Kyshawn and his mom and dad flew in on New Year's Eve. Wow. We weren't here. We checked them into a hotel, long distance, and then we got back late. Our flight was delayed. We didn't get in until 11 o'clock, so we just called them and said, we'll see you tomorrow on New Year's Day. We picked them up. No students around. The campus is closed, so we just drove them around campus, met with them, talked with them, showed them video, told them what we thought, his potential was. And even back then, we don't know who's returning for sure because of the transfer portal and who might go pro, but we think he would fit in very well with us. He went back, continued to play in France, and he signed with us and then showed up in July, and he was 6'7". And he was like 6'5", 180, now he was 6'7", 190. And we put him in the weight program, and by the time basically the team photo was shot in October, he was like 6'8", 200. So from a player's point of view and a coach's point of view, he's already done some things to help his game. He's gotten taller, he's gotten heavier, he's gotten stronger, and we haven't even talked about basketball yet. Then we get on the court and we see he's an effortless shooter. He has great range, he's got a beautiful touch, but the best part is he's really, really smart. He really knows how to play. He's played with older guys for a long time, played in Europe where skills are really emphasized. So he comes as a freshman, he's got a lot to learn because the game is so much faster. So now he's progressed so well. He's playing faster, he's playing stronger, he's playing with more confidence, he's being more aggressive. And I'm still kicking him in the butt to play harder and faster and more aggressively. I had him in my office yesterday working on his dribbling. In my office. But he understood, he's a very good student of the game, and he's just going to continue to get better and better.
Jim, during this whole process of recruiting, how much are you hoping essentially he doesn't get out there? There's not a lot of hidden prospects out there. Just how worried were you that other teams were going to get involved during this whole time? Well,
other teams did get involved. I know LSU, Illinois, a few other teams got involved. But his schedule, he had games every week. He had practice every day that he didn't have a game. So when he visited us, it was over the New Year's break, right? Because when we said to him, well, you want to come in? Well, I can't, I got games. Well, you want to come here? No, I'm sorry, we got practice. So I said, well, find me a weekend where you can come. Coach, really, the only time I could come is maybe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I got to get back for practice after that. So we took the chance, we brought him in. The other schools put it off. The whole key, though, for me, was when those other schools said, we'll bring you in after your season is over. Well, when is that? April, May? And I said to them, we can't wait that long. We want you here, but if you're gonna wait until May, there are other guys that are gonna become available that we're gonna need to recruit. Now, we won't recruit them if you're coming. And he said to me, thinking in a WhatsApp conversation, you guys know what WhatsApp is?
Yes.
It's an app. It's called WhatsApp. And so I communicated with him and his dad through WhatsApp, and eventually Kyshawn said, yeah, I want to come. And so, well, be sure your parents are okay with that. He did. Talked to the dad. He committed and signed with us in April.
Jim, are those the stories that keep you young, or are they the ones that add the gray hair to you?
No, they're fun. Because, first of all, we had no idea if he was any good. You watch guys on tape, you don't know how good the competition is, you don't really know how tall he is. He's 6'5" or 6'6", well, maybe he's 6'3", So, we basically took a shot and it worked out.
What's the name of the guy you said? Who was the guy that,
Jonathan Givony.
Givony, G-I?
V-O-N-Y.
Okay,
And he's an NBA scout.
okay.
So if you go online and look at the NBA mock drafts, I don't know if it's the NBA mock draft or the ESPN mock, yeah, I don't think it's ESPN, I think it's NBA. He's the architect of the NBA mock draft.
Jim, is he developing to the point where when you're full speed, that you'll have a decision to make in terms of putting him in the starting lineup?
Well, I think you have a decision before every game, depending on how you match up, but I am so confident in my veterans. And I love the progress he's making, and he was doing that coming in off the bench. So whether he starts or he's our sixth man, kind of like Bensley Joseph did last year. Everybody said, well, Bensley doesn't start. Yeah, well, check out how many minutes he plays and when he's in the game, because he's vitally important to our success.
But I guess when you start Bensley and Nigel, you're a little small in the backcourt,
Yeah.
correct? So is that something that will play in your mind
Yeah, well,
to develop the team?
as a coach, you always have to manage the minutes,
Right.
how long they're out there together.
Right.
So I'm going to have to do that. Whether Kyshawn starts or comes in off the bench, I have to find time for him to play quality minutes.
Right.
Whether it's 15, 20, 25, like against Wake Forest, I think he played over 40 minutes.
Yeah.